Welcome, everybody, to the That Kind of Nerd podcast. I am CJ Mellon.
I am Brian Thornton.
And I am Josh Burns.
Welcome to our show. This episode of That Kind of Nerd podcast is brought to you by Audible.com. Audible.com has over 180,000 audiobooks for you to choose from that work with iPhone, Android, or even just a plain old MP3 player. This week, we recommend Night Circus. Night Circus is the story of two magicians who have been trained since childhood by their instructor. And unbeknownst to them, this is a game in which only one can be left standing, and the circus is but a stage for a remarkable battle of imagination and will. And this game must be played out, and the fates of everyone is involved, from the cast to the extraordinary circus performers and even the patrons. This is a phenomenal book and is actually narrated by the narrator from Pushing Daisies. We highly recommend it, and it's a great way to support the podcast by going to audibletrial.com/thatkindofnerd. And guess what you're getting with that? Not only this free audiobook, but you're also getting a free 30-day trial. So go to audibletrial.com/thatkindofnerd. That's audibletrial.com/thatkindofnerd. Thank you for supporting the show.
You know what I did? You know what I did the other day?
What did you do the other day?
Because I have this awesome giant iMac now.
Uh-huh.
I downloaded like 300 super high quality wallpapers, and I have them change every 5 minutes. So I get a beautiful new picture every 5 minutes. It's just, it keeps my day fresh.
Does any of them have Batman in it?
Yeah, Batman, Spider-Man.
Wait, hold on.
Superman.
Does
Yeah,
any
absolutely.
of them has Batman? Like, what did you just say?
I said, does any of them have Batman?
He said I can has Batman.
English,
has
Brian.
Batman.
Do you speak
I
it?
can has Batman, and also a ton of cityscapes. That's like my favorite wallpapers or cityscapes, and cars. Lots of cars.
All I heard was, Nanny Nanny
Batman.
Boo Boo, I have an iMac and you don't.
I have an iMac. Me.
Nerd. All right.
I don't know why that makes me a nerd.
You're a nerd.
It makes me an informed consumer.
Or better known as nerd. And there's nothing wrong with the word nerd, Josh. That's our whole website.
All right, fair
All
enough.
right. Well, then, greetings, fellow nerds.
Greetings! Sorry.
And that is now your ringtone for your phone. You're welcome. Download it on thatkindofnerd.com. Actually, you know what? I'm going to make that available. That's going to be a thing now. That's actually going to happen.
We should have a section of,
It's just
of
done.
outtakes that are text tones.
I have officially made it so. It's happened. Okay. You're welcome, listener. Hit the show notes. You can download it.
Can you make the Easter eggs available as
Oh my
text
gosh.
tones?
Real quick before we get into the meat then, I would love some feedback from the listeners. If you guys even notice that we have all these Easter eggs after our show, and if you like them, if you don't like them, if anything belongs on a t-shirt, just let us know. Because
I think, and at the end we get an Ewok belongs on a t-shirt.
I also think that you're right as an American is when you're sick, you watch Price is Right as an 11, and at noon someone brings you soup.
At noon, someone brings you soup. That goes on the front.
I don't mean to be like, oh, listen to us, we have something clever at the end.
Oh,
But,
no,
you know,
notice I don't think anything I say needs to belong on a t-shirt. Just shit
No,
Josh
there was
says.
one that made me cry at the end, and it was yours, Brian.
But I'm just curious if you guys like it, if you listen to it. If you do, just email us or share them on Facebook. Just let us know which episodes, Easter eggs you really like. A lot of you are binge listening to our show, and I can't appreciate that, any more than you guys already do. But some feedback would just be fantastic on that. Or even just a review on iTunes for all you new listeners. Yes, Kevin Mealy, I'm talking to you. You could go ahead and leave us a review. And for our Android fans, to make it easier for you, we are now on Stitcher.
Nice.
So this way you guys can go ahead and subscribe to us and leave reviews there. So iTunes for you iPhone people, Stitcher for those of you who have Android, and anyone with a Windows phone, I'm so sorry, come to my house and get an iPhone, okay? We're going to go
You
together.
just have them
like
just
Brian.
hanging around in a
Do you
laundry
have them laying
basket.
around?
I have a couple like iPhone 3GSs and maybe an iPhone 1 laying around.
Yeah, that would be better than
Yeah.
any Windows phone.
Yeah, it'd be perfect. So you're welcome, person who needs that, who has a Windows phone. So anyway, Stitcher, go ahead and leave us a review. iTunes, leave us a review, and if you like these Easter eggs, please let us know. I don't know, maybe we'll actually make a T-shirt. So all right, such is life. So let's talk a little bit about it's the end of August. We're recording on the 21st, and normally while we would go into our hopes for September movies, I want to talk a little bit about the movies that we saw in August because we were really damn excited for them. And unfortunately, like, I did not get to go to the movies this much.
Yeah, I didn't go at all.
I was so bummed. I'm like, oh, I really wanted to go see this movie and that movie, and I didn't. So I really am curious for the movies that we did see, what you guys thought of them.
Or shame the two of you.
You, Brian, you were nice enough, and
I was kind of busy all of August.
Yeah. Well,
So
I
go
mean,
ahead and-
in your and it did not need any of your help. Straight Outta Compton made like 60 million opening weekend or something like that. Did better than Ant-Man. Congratulations.
It needs, of course, it's better than Ant-Man. It needs to be in the drive-in, though. We need to go see it at the drive-in.
I'm sure we can make that happen. Yeah. The only movie I saw this month was Fantastic Four.
Here's what I did hear, and I'm gonna plug a local theater. The Emmaus Theater, which is a tiny little theater in Emmaus, Pennsylvania. Apparently, like, if you want to have a get together, you can take in a DVD and they'll screen it for you. Like, you and your friends. I don't know. I didn't find out the cost, but
I don't care. That's awesome.
Well, I think my buddy and I are gonna do an Iron Eagle screening for his birthday.
Nice.
Dude, that's so cool.
Well done.
Because Iron Eagle is amazing. Louis Gossett Jr., I'm talking to you.
Well, let's do a little bit of a wrap up. So let's start with the first movie of the month. I think we've been very vocal about this, and so is the internet in general. Fantastic Four sucked real hard. We've talked enough about it last week. It sucked.
Yeah, I don't want to tear off that Band-Aid again.
Yeah, so
I'm just starting to heal.
The Man from U.N.C.L.E. Brian, I know you said you wanted to see that.
I haven't got a chance to. I really want to.
It didn't make any waves. No one was raving about it. I didn't hear.
Well, because it came out the same week as Straight Outta Compton.
That's the thing. Straight Outta Compton was the movie of the month in my.
Everybody's raving about it.
Yeah, I think Man from U.N.C.L.E. probably would have done better if it was released a little bit later, maybe in September. Because it just got completely overshadowed by Straight Outta Compton. Unfortunately, still gonna go see it. I'm just haven't seen it yet.
I know you're saying unfortunately in a different sense, but man, did Straight Outta Compton get like amazing press, amazing reviews.
Well, I think you're talking about a story that an entire generation has wanted to see for years, and this is the music that people that were in high school from 1990 till 1998. 99 maybe grew up with. So we're talking about a generation. That's a big movie.
And it really also put some people into this genre and into this, this band again.
I listened to NWA for the first time.
Right, exactly. You did.
Well, look, I'll tell you what. If you did, then hit up Apple Music and you need to listen to Dre's new record because it is solid.
And I mean,
really solid.
And what's real funny is the other thing that Dre did for that was make this little website. It's called Straight Out of Anywhere? Straight Out of Somewhere. StraightOutofSomewhere.com. And you make this straight out of them. You put in whatever you want, and people have gone to meme heaven with it. There was the best one that had it had Peter Capaldi coming out of the TARDIS, black and white, says Straight Out of Gallifrey. Just lost my shit every time I saw it. So I mean, that movie just really opened up a big cultural talk. And you know what? American Ultra was doing as good as I thought it would be, and a little better. And someone finally summed it up perfectly, just like we said that it was like Pineapple Express had a baby with Jason Bourne. And I'm still excited to go see that movie. I think I'm going to go see it this weekend.
I'm making a Straight Outta Reading t-shirt.
No fooling. Josh right now is actually on that website doing it.
Right now. I'm looking at it right now.
Actually happening. And then Hitman.
I'm adding a picture of myself in like sepia tone or black and white. And
will you please do it with you standing next to the TARDIS with your arms crossed? Because I just think that the paradox.
That's a great picture.
It's a great picture, but the paradox of Straight Outta Reading next to a TARDIS. It's just enough to make my inner nerd laugh. And Hitman Agent 47, at the time of this recording, is not out yet, so no thoughts, no numbers on that, but I'm expecting that. It's gotten some reviews already. They're saying it's a great popcorn movie, but, nothing special, and we kind of figured
I like Rupert Friend. I like the action. I mean, it's got to be a popcorn movie, right? Yeah. It's going to be good.
So, I mean, the real victor, just like we kind of thought it would be, is Straight Outta Compton. I mean, if you guys saw the movie, you know exactly what we're talking about, and we're sorry that we didn't get a chance to do that.
You're talking about for August movies, not all summer movies.
Right. Yes, correct. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Of August movies.
Okay. Yeah.
Thank you for the correction. I do.
Making sure.
I do much appreciate.
My screen just changed, and now I'm looking at the Brooklyn Bridge. I just want to make sure you knew that.
Thank you. Is that going to kind of happen throughout the entire show?
Every 5 minutes, I may update you. It'll be a cat soon.
Your background is now Grumpy Cat.
I should program it to speak.
No, please don't make it do that. So, ladies and gentlemen of the listening world, Brian again was nice enough to go ahead and put together a list of trailers for Septiembre.
Yes, because it's so difficult.
You just went Spanish there. I don't know.
I did. Yeah, I'm sorry. There's no subtitles in a podcast, so I just need someone to translate if at all possible.
You just need someone to translate?
Yeah, just yeah. If you could.
You need to call me El Diablo. It's Spanish for like a fighting chicken or something.
It's very similar to that. So, Brian, why don't you tell us what the first movie coming up in September is going to be?
The first movie starting September 4th is Transporter Refueled. Yeah.
Come on.
Who just kind of puked in their mouth? Was that CJ?
Are you not a fan of the Transporter series?
No, I like the Transporter series. This is
not.
Then
what's wrong with this one? It's a reboot.
It looks like it's like a continuation, honestly. I don't know if it's a reboot or not. I don't know if you've seen the trailer.
Is Jason Statham going to hand over his keys to this kid?
He plays the same character, Frank Martin.
He plays Frank?
Yeah, he plays Frank.
It's not a reboot. It's a continuation.
It's a continuation,
just with
a different dude.
And we know those type of movies really do well. Yeah, changing the main character from a huge name to an unknown guy really, really kind of gets it there.
I don't think you need a huge name for the Transporter series.
No, but I'm saying it in general. I've never seen any movie change the main actor like that and not go straight to like DVD. I'm surprised this one's hitting theaters.
I will think of one that was successful after we're done recording. Probably.
There's a listener yelling in your car. I hear you. I really do, but I can't.
Right. It's happening now.
I can't help you. I'm sorry. Just tweet at me, and I will make sure it's correct.
And then he'll mention something on the podcast and not answer your question.
Really. Just let it go.
Oh, no, I will not.
Anyway, that happens in September 4th.
September 4th. It should be a fun action movie. Again, kind of like Hitman, popcorn, explosions, sex, drugs, and rock and roll and martial arts type of thing. I mean, I think it'll be good. Am I going to rush out to the theater to see it? Probably not.
My favorite car chase scenes before the Transporter were in the movie Ronin, right? De Niro.
Mm-hmm.
That
Bullet.
And the reason why it was reason why it was that Audi A8 chase scene, and the Transporter really brought that to life. I mean, that's what the dude drives, and it just everything. And they combined Jason Statham, for all.
No, he's great.
Yeah, he's not only great, but he's like a for real tough action guy, right? Everybody loves him. So I love the Transporter series. I actually like all of them. So I got to think this is going to be at least worth a watch, CJ.
Yeah, absolutely.
Worth a watch, CJ.
Maybe a matinee. All right.
Worth 2 hours of your time.
A matinee, perfect. Yeah, perfect. Wednesday at noon.
After I see all the movies I didn't see in August, I'll go see that one. This is like the end of September. Like I should probably see a movie. Transporter.
Well, I mean, that same week, Steve Jobs' Man in the Machine comes out, which I'm pretty sure you're a little bit more excited about.
I actually really am. So a couple weeks ago, we had plugged for our Audible trial the book Steve Jobs, the actual biography approved by Steve Jobs, and it really, for me, it was after I read that book, I always kind of wanted to meet Steve Jobs at some point. If you think, oh man, it'd be so cool just running this guy. And after reading Walter Isaacson's work, I realized if I ever saw him, I'd probably hate the experience. And I saw him in a very different light. And this movie, this is a documentary, so they are taking interviews from Steve Jobs that have been recently uncovered. And they're taking interviews from people that have dealt with him, his rivals, his coworkers, the people who admire him. And they're getting kind of a full picture of his rise and fall with the company, and then his coming back. And
rise again.
And then on the third day, he rested and he made the iPad. And I think it's going to be a very interesting look into a man that still, even to now, years after his death, still isn't fully known to the world. It's a different side of him.
100 years from now, he'll be deified. It'll be insane.
Yeah.
This is not the story's not over. It's still being written. And the crazy thing is, yes, he was inspiring. Yes, he was a visionary. And yes, he was a tyrant. And I don't think you can be a man of vision without being a tyrant. It's just, do you use your powers for good or for evil, right? And I draw this parallel, and I know we're talking about September stuff, so I'm going to say there's something that happens August 28th. It's another man of vision type story. There's this Netflix show called Narcos, and it focuses on the rise of Pablo Escobar. Another, again, a man of vision, but used his powers for evil. So parallel back to Steve Jobs, I will consume any information that I can get about Steve Jobs just to get a little bit more insight into the mind of the man, and how he transformed the world. Not an industry, not a technology, but life.
And the really nice part is right now, because there was that terrible Ashton Kutcher movie, and then there's going to be the new one with Michael Fassbender, getting rid of the fiction world and getting rid of the over-dramatizing a situation for a movie and for selling tickets. It's just going to be about, the perspective.
The Aaron Sorkin movie is going to be pretty goddamn dramatic.
Right, yeah. And I mean, I'm sure things are going to be blown out of proportion and because it has to. I mean, that's what you do with a movie.
That's also what Steve Jobs was.
Right.
According to all records, right? That's what he was. Yep. He wasn't middle of the road. He was extremes all the time.
So I think it's going to be very interesting, and I think if you haven't read Walter Isaacson's book, this would be a great way to kind of see behind the Apple logo and see the guy that ran the place. So very interesting. I'm very excited for it. I know documentaries aren't everyone's cup of tea, but I definitely think this is worth a watch. The trailer.
Is this a theater? Is this a box office release, or is this going to be on Netflix pretty quickly?
I don't believe this is a Netflix. I believe this is a digital download or direct to own.
Right.
Kind of thing.
Like the Superman documentary.
Right. Like the Death of Superman lists.
Like in iTunes, or
yeah?
Is this...
Well, I don't know. Yeah, probably go on iTunes.
The problem is that it's a Fandango trailer, so
I'll include a link in the actual, because in the trailer, I had initially posted the trailer before because I found it around the internet. I was very excited. They have a great Facebook page. I'll include a link in the trailer so this way you can see exactly how you go about downloading it.
Thank you, CJ.
No problem. Or if it goes in theater, we'll let you know.
So I put that in the list because we're all nerds, and there's Apple nerds out there that would enjoy that.
I even Android
think,
people.
I even think the Google nerds can appreciate
Absolutely.
the ingenuity.
And anyone who likes Pixar, you're welcome.
So
Jobs.
I put
right. Thank you. Yes.
So don't judge me because this next movie on the list is not on there because you need to see it.
Before we go there, before we go to the next movie, Craig that writes on our site, I know as you're listening to this at the gym or at work, or you listen in like 10-minute increments, Craig, and that's fine. Please just control your gag reflex and your bile just for a minute, and maybe give this Steve Jobs thing a watch. Could you do that for me, Craig? Could you please?
Thanks there, buddy.
Would you kindly watch this documentary?
Anyway, this...
Defend the next movie.
I'm not defending it. This movie is on the list because it needs to be talked about.
It's a Shyamalan.
In the vein of
M. Night Shyamalan Ding Dong's movie, The Visit.
In the vein of why is this man still making movies?
Yes,
because I've seen.
Can
most
we
of
get
this
hit? So there's a line in this movie in the trailer where the grandmother. So this movie is weird.
Yeah.
This has 3 people in the building that nobody's ever heard of.
So it's.
So don't we know the old guy from something?
No, but
Ed Oxenbould?
No, that's the kid. Catherine Hahn from something. She's that crazy girl on some TV show that I can't remember right now.
Good research.
Yeah,
Appreciate
I know. I try.
I'm on it.
Yeah, I know you're on it, which is why I wasn't going towards it.
Stalling.
Okay, so it's filmed kind of like Paranormal Activity, where it's all,
which I hate.
It's all shot from like a hand cam or web cams or something like that.
Terrible.
2 kids go to visit their grandparents and Papa
for the first time, by the way.
Yeah, for the first time.
How old are these kids? And they've never visited their grandparents at like 11
Catherine
and 12.
Hahn, she's in all kinds of stuff. She was in Step Brothers.
Yes.
She's Parks and Rec.
Yes. She's that
I'm
girl.
still not going to watch it. But
yeah. So like something's wrong with Nana and Pop. They start going crazy, trying to like kill the grandkids or
You're
something.
not allowed to leave your room after 9:30.
Apparently you left your room after 9:30, and now you have to die. I don't know.
this sounds terrible.
There's a line where so basically it's that the grandparents are either possessed or they're demons or whatever. And
Or
there's a
demon
line
worshippers or something.
I don't know. There's a line in the trailer where the grandmother goes, "Will you mind getting in the oven to clean it?" I'm like, how about M. Night Shyamalan Ding Dong gets in the damn oven and we just stop this right now?
Yeah. So it's
Stop
on there.
making movies.
This disclaimer.
hard pass.
Disclaimer.
Hard pass on this
It's
movie.
on here because it needs to be talked about, but not in a good way. Because
I'm actually cringing. I'm
I
super
wonder
cringing.
which does better in box office opening weekends, The Visit or Fantastic Four?
Fantastic Four.
That's a toughie. Fantastic Four was pretty awful.
Fantastic Four is going to do better
I'm
than this
pretty
movie.
sure M. Night Shyamalan directed Fantastic Four, just no one knew it. I'm pretty sure that happened.
This like the opening line for this trailer is, if you have any hope for M. Night Shyamalan as a filmmaker, Brian, this is what you wrote. If you have any hope for M. Night Shyamalan as a filmmaker, you'll be pleased to see his new movie. So like the three people who have hope for it will be pleased.
Those three
This is
people.
how you're introducing this trailer.
I call him like I see him.
And folks, this article isn't published yet, but thank you, Brian. If you have any hope,
No, it's published by the time you guys are listening to this. You're hearing it. You go read that. It's just hilarious.
This is terrible. This is about two children that visit their grandparents for a week and all hell breaks loose?
Pretty much.
No.
Yep.
Also,
Looks
two
awful.
children visit their grandparents. Everybody gets in an elevator and people start disappearing.
And then someone just walks across in the background. Just walks. They don't do anything.
and
they just
and
walk.
they all see dead people.
Absolutely.
Anyway, moving on. 'Cause I think we've given him too much time as it
I was
is.
so surprised to see the next movie, Maze Runner: The Scorched Trails.
I am
Actually gotta see
Trials.
I am kind of excited over this.
Trials.
It's the Scorched Trials.
You inverted
Yeah.
the.
Oh,
your
my bad, my
dyslexia
bad.
kicked in.
Sorry.
I really enjoyed the first one. I thought Maze
I
Runner
did
was
too.
fun.
I'm gonna need to watch it.
Yeah, I'm
the
looking forward to
ending
the sequel.
is really screwed up.
The
like,
ending
in the
is
sense
what-
you're just like, holy shit.
Yeah, the ending is
Well,
what
don't
kind of
tell
makes
me
it
that.
good.
Now you ruined it.
Again, CJ with his movie magic background.
Now the whole
What the
time
hell
I'm going to
is-
be waiting for a screwed up ending.
Yeah, no, I
That's how the movie starts.
thought this movie
It's like saying, I really liked Ender's Game. I had no idea they were killing an actual planet.
That's different.
No, you just that's what you just did to
gave away
me.
the whole end of the movie. I just told you
Sorry,
the ending
you
is
just
really
did it.
good.
It was screwed up.
the
Oh, it was very
tagline
screwed
for the
up.
movie gives away the entire thing. It's like it's only a game or something like that, and it's not. I don't remember. Anyway,
It's not just a game.
right. So anyway, this is the sequel to Maze Runner, which I think came out 2 years ago.
I think so too. Yeah.
And pretty much just follows the same group of characters through another set of trials and issues, and it seems really interesting. And if it's anything like the first movie, there should be some surprises in store. I've never read the book series it's based off of, so
It's
I'm
apparently a
looking forward to
very
it.
popular book series that I've
Is Maze
never
Runner
heard of.
just like the Hunger Games with dudes?
Kind of.
No, there's some. I mean, it's got the Hunger Games element to it, the post-apocalyptic,
Yeah,
blah blah blah.
it's the same genre type
but
of.
but it's more mystery than it is action adventure.
So are you, actually.
Well, thank you.
You're very mysterious.
Stop it! You're making me blush. I'm actually. I saw the first movie in theaters with my wife. We are actually very excited to go see this movie again. I think it's going to be great. I seriously, I hope that they end this whole. I hope they do this whole series. It'd be really great.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely gonna go see this.
Josh, watch the first one. It's worth your time.
Josh, watch the 1st one.
It's on Netflix, right? I'm gonna check it out.
Yeah, probably.
And honestly, the same day Black Mass comes out, and I probably we spent a lot of time talking about this a couple weeks ago.
That's the movie, though.
But this looks great.
Benedict Cumberbatch.
You look
Johnny
you
Depp.
look through all of September,
That's
and
the movie.
that's the movie. And I'm quite sure that you two haven't been watching preseason football, but I have, and I will say that throughout every game, this trailer has been plastered. And I mean, right demographic and whatnot, but look, this movie is getting some great press. Johnny Depp looks absolutely terrifying in this role. It's going to be awesome.
Now, my question is, how is Tim Burton involved in this movie? It's got to be. It's got to be, right?
No,
it's got to have some way.
No,
how does a Johnny Depp do a movie without Tim Burton?
Why do you have to do that, dude?
Tim Burton wasn't involved with Blow.
Or
all right, touche.
Like
half his movies, I get it. I just trying to
or
make it
like
funny.
anything
right,
good, anything good that Johnny Depp has ever done.
Any of the
joke.
Pirates of the Caribbean
Didn't work out.
movies.
Okay, thank you.
Okay,
Yeah.
moving on.
Wasn't involved in 21 Jump Street. Johnny Depp was in that.
Yes, he was.
That was so old. Come on.
So old. This is
Like
like
4
4
or
years
5
ago.
years ago.
Oh, you're talking about the movie. My bad.
yeah.
My apologies.
The movie.
Sorry. So let's talk about cooties.
Moving
Let's talk
on.
about cooties.
I don't want to talk about cooties at all.
I do.
Yeah, well, CJ was the one who had cooties growing up, I guess, right?
Circle, circle, dot,
Is
dot.
this-
If you
is-
don't
is
do it
the-
right, guys, you get the
So
cooties.
I brought this movie up to CJ. He's like, "What the hell is this?" So for anybody who doesn't know, it is a zombie movie with fourth graders.
No.
Yeah.
No, hold on.
So a
Before you hear
virus,
zombie and zone out, just listen.
a virus breaks out. It only affects people who have not hit puberty yet, and they're calling it cooties. And it stars Elijah Wood and Rainn Wilson.
Is Rainn Wilson the gym teacher
Rainn
here? Is
Wilson
that what I'm
is the
looking
gym teacher.
He's got that beautiful handlebar
As
mustache.
at? I don't like Allison Pill at all. I liked her in Goon, and I did not like her in the newsroom.
I didn't even know she was in the newsroom. Good to know.
Allison Pill, she played Maggie Jordan, right?
Didn't watch
Yeah.
the newsroom. You have me watching like 16 different things. I haven't seen the newsroom yet.
She was in. What do you mean? All right, so she was amazing in Goon, and then every scene that she was in the newsroom, she had this strained look on her face, and I hated her.
Anyway,
But
It's
But
not hard
so
for you to
Elijah-
hate people, though. I
Yes,
mean, that's
it is.
Elijah Wood, he's going to be like a buttoned-up math or social studies teacher,
most likely.
right?
Yes.
Right.
No, I'm imagining him something more like Wilfred. You know, like his role in Wilfred.
Well,
Wilfred?
Wilfred,
Wilfred.
stop it! I'm having a hard time speaking. Okay, it happens to people.
Anyway,
I think this is going to be
I
hilarious.
think this is
except,
going to be funny.
what was the movie? It was Super, right? It was called Super. With Rainn
Yeah,
Wilson?
that was dark and
Gritty.
this
that was-
isn't going to be anything like this. This is
So
going to be
that was marketed with like, hey, everyone, you come watch this independent film when Rainn Wilson's a superhero who hits people with a wrench. And it's not that. It is not that. Do not.
I'm out. When you turn kids, and I mean, I have
You got a problem with
second-
zombies anyway. No matter
I have a
what this
second
movie's
grader
doing.
in my house, so I'm out.
I don't have any children, just man-eating cats, so I'm in. until they make cooties for cats, then I'm out.
They do. It's called You Have a Fucking Cat.
I don't have a cat. They're not mine. I just take care of them sometimes. Okay. Moving on to the last week of September has two movies coming out that I feel are actually going to be pretty good. The Intern being one, starring Robert De Niro and Anne Hathaway.
This has not funny written all over.
No, this is not
No,
supposed to be.
It's supposed to be one of those
It's
inspirational.
kind of like In Good Company. You
Right.
know what I mean? That movie wasn't like.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the movie wasn't like, ha ha ha, but it had moments. This looks like a movie that if I go see with my dad, I'm going to cry.
Like Robert De Niro teaches this young 20-something how to live type of movie.
Yeah, Anne Hathaway is the new CEO of a startup, and they're looking for like interns. And Robert De Niro is a 70-year-old retiree who basically just hates retirement. Comes out and starts to work for this company, and he started to notice that Anne Hathaway is just having a very hard time struggling just with her identity, but also with being a CEO and being a woman. And he's like trying to just instill the confidence in her and be a role model. And he's an intern who works for a tech firm that wears a suit and tie every day, and it starts to rub off on the other people. I think it's going to be great. I know it's not a mass appeal movie. I know not everyone's going to go see it. If you love Tokyo Drift, you may not go see this movie, but I think it's going to be, just absolutely stellar. And Josh, I think if you liked In Good Company, I think you're going to like it.
Well, then I'm going to check it out. I thought it was supposed to be like a funny.
No.
It's not like Las Vegas. It's like In Good Company.
Oh, that's
Oh, wow.
Sorry.
Directed by
That's
M. Night Shyamalan,
terrible.
right? That movie? Yeah.
Yeah. Zoom.
So listen, I think it's not for everybody, but I definitely think if you go see it, if that is your type of movie, you will absolutely like it. And I have the utmost confidence in that film. I think it's going to be great.
And then finally, at the end of September, we have the movie my children can't wait to see.
Hotel Transylvania 2.
They love the first one. I love the first one. I can't wait to see this.
Is this pretty much the same cast of grown-ups just now doing animated film?
Yeah, it's Adam Sandler continuing his legacy by getting all his friends voice jobs in animated films. Look, it was good. The first one was really, really good, and not just good and it's like a feel good story, which it was, but it was funny, truly funny.
Is this DreamWorks? Is that who's doing the animation?
I don't know, but I'll find out for you. I don't really. Are you worried about the
No.
animation
If it's DreamWorks, I really see a long way that they've come with their animation style. I'm very happy with this. It looks really cool. If my daughter was older, I'd probably go take her to see it, but
she's not old enough to go see it.
It's going to be wasted on her. I'm not going to sit through 2 hours of Hotel Transylvania 2 if my daughter's not appreciating it. She didn't appreciate the Minions movie. I didn't appreciate the Minions movie.
It's Sony.
So I'm not gonna. It's Sony.
I didn't.
Okay, all right. Fair enough.
I didn't see the Minions movie.
Good. You didn't miss a damn thing.
I'm sure. Banana.
But that's the only thing you missed. Just buy the toys from McDonald's, and you've pretty much hit it. So I think the movie of September is going to be Black Mass.
Gonna be Black Mass.
Yeah.
I think the one that's
hands down. It's gonna be Black Mass. I think that Black Mass could be another
Departed
phenomenon like The Departed. Yeah, I think it could be huge.
I would give my number 2 spot, the thing I'm going to see second, actually to The Intern, and then to Steve Jobs for my number 3.
Really?
Yeah, I want to go see The Intern with my dad.
Steve Jobs thing isn't going to be a box office movie.
No, just things I want to see. I need to see in September. My list of I have to go see this in September. I'm going to go take my dad to go see
so he
The
puts the
Intern.
documentary in number 3.
I go Black Mass then Transporter.
I'm probably going to see Maze Runner second. Sorry.
All right. Yeah. We're allowed to disagree on those.
No, we're not.
Yeah.
We must be in agreement at all times, CJ.
I say thee nay.
Lockstep.
So I came across an article, and it was based off of a Reddit user called Challenge Response, who put together a beautiful chart that is mind-boggling and it hurt my eyes when I first saw it, of show finales. And it basically pins their finale rating versus their average episode rating. And the ratings are from IMDb, and they're also just from a couple other different sources, nothing majorly official.
TV ratings.
Yeah, TV ratings. And it's so interesting to see how hard it is to stick a finale. That your show can do so well in its normal base episode, and then when you get to the finale, just sometimes it kind of takes a tank. So, I mean, to use as a reference, the top 3 things for the best finales, according to IMDb, were Glee, Charmed, and Newhart.
Let's just, you're, okay, when you say the top 3, what he's saying is...
Yeah, please help me explain this a little better. I'm doing
I will, because Glee, basically what you're saying is that everybody thought that most of Glee was such shit compared to their finale, which people liked. Meaning that...
Relative to its...
That everybody thought that the average Glee episode was worth like a 6.7 out of 10, but the finale was a 9.2. So that's a big swing.
Right.
That's not saying that Glee was a great show. That's saying that the finale was just way better than the rest of the series, which was dog shit. Same as Charmed. Newhart had obviously a higher overall rating for the average, but also a very good finale. That's not, I mean, when I look at this chart, that's not what I take away. The things that I found interesting were some of the higher rated shows like Scrubs that had, an average rating over an 8, but a finale that was damn near a 10. Right, and it was season 8.
There is no
Scrubs.
season 9. I don't know what you're talking about. There's only 8
the
seasons.
the season 9 is actually listed way down on the bottom here.
I don't know what you're talking about.
where season 9 had about an 8.5 average episode rating, but like a 6.5 finale rating. So a nice little juxtaposition there to the rest of the series.
Brian, have you ever heard of Scrubs season 9?
Wait, there wasn't a 9th season.
No, there's just 8 seasons. I don't know what this chart's talking about.
Yeah, no. You
like
cried,
Sons of
it was
Anarchy is
over.
on this. Like Sons of Anarchy is on this list too, and
what I didn't expect to see, the two things that I took, the other two things that I saw here, both Breaking Bad and Band of Brothers had like a 9.6 out of 10 rating for their average episode. Breaking Bad's finale was the highest rated finale out of all of these shows.
Yep.
And then on the flip side of that, the Band of Brothers received a slightly lower rating, and I think that's a mistake. I thought the Band of Brothers series finale was really well done. It's hard to wrap up such a historical show in a very dramatic way. You already know what happened, so you can't do it big.
yeah, like I noticed here on the
You just have to
Wire-
do it right.
On the same vein, The Wire gets about a 9.5 for its general episode, and then finished with a 9 on the finale. What did you think about that too?
No, again, the problem with The Wire is that it was, different things in each season. So, again, I thought the series finale of The Wire was great, and without spoiling it for anybody, I thought that the characters ended up exactly how they should end up. And a couple of things that I'm not shocked by, The West Wing receiving like an 8.8 over their entire series, and the finale being exactly that. I thought that's a really good litmus test. The West Wing was consistently great
All
the
throughout.
entire way through 155 episodes. I'm gonna wrap it up this weekend for the 8th time, and it again, phenomenal finale, on par with the rest of the series. Heroes as well, on par. And I'm not one of those people that hated it in season 4. So
No, you don't hate season 4. You hate season 3. Season 4 is
Right.
actually decent.
See, season 3 was made me stop watching Heroes altogether.
Season 3
okay,
part 1
all right,
was
well,
awful.
they're gonna reboot Heroes. Thank God.
Right, which I think kind of brings us to our next topic, is that we've kind of compiled a list individually here, and for the record, we have not shared our list together, so we're going to hear moments of, oh my god, that's such a list too, of shows that have gone too soon. Shows that we think either deserve either a reboot or a continuation to be picked up, and we kind of want to share it with you. And a few of you also shared it on Twitter. You guys were involved in our conversation, so I'm going to also share your feedback as well. But I kind of want to start with your list. And Brian, if possible,
Yes.
I'd like to start with yours.
You want to start with my list?
I would like to start with your list of shows that are gone too soon and you'd like to see come back.
Okay.
And or be rebooted.
Well, they are in no particular order, just as I started thinking of things. But number one for me will always be Chuck. This show, CJ will agree with me, was never given the time that it deserved. Like,
Right.
it was constantly on the bubble. It was constantly on the cusp of being canceled, and then it got brought back. And every season was just so much fun, filled with action and comedy and characters that you truly fell in love with.
It sounds like it was always kind of shitty if it was on the
It
bubble.
No,
wasn't.
it
That's
was-
the problem. It was actually
stuck at the terrible time.
Yeah.
And the network didn't think that it was pulling in. Don't get me started.
I blame the network because
I
it was
do too.
actually the network's highest rated show on Mondays, above Heroes for a long time. And
They didn't like that. 'Cause they put a lot of money into Heroes.
They didn't like that. In fact, they went so far as to kill this show so it wouldn't be brought back by pulling it off of Hulu on season 5. And the only way you could watch it was if you watched it live or DVR'd it. So that was a shame. And I think another network, Netflix, I'm looking at you, can pick this show up. And the way they ended it, you can pick it up and do it right all over. Just keep
While
going.
I think that Chuck needed some more time to finish telling its story, I think the bookend that they put on that episode, on the final episode, is enough to just say, "Wow, it really sucks. I really like to see more story, but I know where my characters are."
Right, it's a great bookend, but
While
it
I
doesn't.
agree that the final chapters stunk, the ending was fine enough that I don't think it needs to come back.
All right, fair enough. Do you have something after Chuck on your
I do.
list?
I have
Or is that
about
it?
like 10 after Chuck, so we'll stop talking about Chuck. Josh is going to watch Chuck now because I finally watched Deadwood, by the way.
Did you watch all of Deadwood?
I'm currently in the middle of Deadwood.
In the middle?
You're lying. Don't lie to him. Don't spit on his cupcake and tell him it's frosting.
That's the wrong
True
use
story.
for that at all.
What episode are you on?
Episode 4.
All right.
All right, respectable.
All right, good.
Okay. Second on my list is Veronica Mars, who stars the love of my life, Kristen Bell, as stop. Again, this show had a strong first 2 seasons, and then UPN changed over to CW, and it got kind of thrown in the mix and got lost in the shuffle. I think the show should come back. They did a movie that was actually pretty successful. One of the highest.
That was a big Kickstarter.
It was
movie.
a huge kick. It was like number 5 for one of the biggest Kickstarters of all time. So that's one of those shows that I wish they could have done or could have brought back or even rebooted. I'll be okay with a reboot. Firefly is on my list.
Yes, this is on my list.
Oh my God, it's on your list
this
too?
one. Absolutely.
This is
show
on every
got
nerd's
one
list.
What happened that it only got the 1 season?
Fox sucks.
It was probably shit.
It was not shit. You take that back, Nathan Fillion will come and kick the shit out of you for saying
listen,
that.
I'm sorry.
Who's gonna?
Nerds
Fillion.
everywhere.
Who's that?
Castle? You
Castle.
ever see Castle?
Nope.
Oh, you're making me
You ever
so
see
sad.
Dr. Horrible's...
No, he hasn't. Just stop. We talked about it on Pittsburgh.
How do you not know Nathan? You don't know Nathan Fillion?
Nope.
He's on the Chive a bunch of times.
Nope.
Yeah, you don't know Nathan Fillion.
Anyway.
All right, let's move over. Firefly, everyone agrees. Yay, Firefly.
Yes,
Josh
everyone
Nathan
agrees.
Fillion.
The show was amazing. Fox is just...
I'm sorry, how do you not know Nathan Fillion?
I don't.
Just move past it, CJ.
I'm trying.
All right. Moving on. We'll get off of Firefly because CJ can't get over the fact that Josh doesn't know Nathan Fillion. Pushing Daisies is actually one of my favorite shows. It only did 2 seasons. I think it was on ABC. Some very weird Dr. Seuss storytelling type style of a man who can bring people back from the dead, and then when he touches them again, they go back to dying. So he uses this to help out a private investigator, and I will not waste any more time on that. Just watch it. It's 2 seasons. It's not going to ruin your life. And okay, here's one that I'm going to put out there that you're going to go, what? Selfie. That just got canceled.
No.
I wish they would continue.
Oh, okay, so we're all in agreement.
Yeah,
all right.
Yes.
It's not on my list, but Jenny was very adamant about Selfie needs to come back. And
Selfie was...
Yeah, I thought it was fantastic. It was a modern day My Fair Lady.
And
That's what I thought.
I also love the social commentary that they were saying of how obsessed we are now with social media and what we're doing. I want to take a real quick break, Brian, because we got through a couple of yours. I just want to hop over to Josh, get a couple of his, and then we'll come back to your list.
No. We can not come back to my list. That's fine.
Okay. No, I want to hear. I want to hear all
them too.
of them.
Yeah.
So my number and mine are in order of preference. Deadwood is the show that was canceled far too early. I can't say enough about this show. The last episode it was great, but left a lot to be desired. And there's been talk since then about how do we continue it. Heroes obviously is on my list. It's
there's also on Craig's list who tweeted at us that Heroes should come back. But
yeah, Craig
Heroes
said, and they
back.
are.
As we said, it's being satisfied, and Heroes is coming back. So that's
Heroes
good.
Reborn.
My list will never get reborn.
I'm sorry.
Studio 60 on the Sunset
yes,
Strip.
That is on my list as well.
Is the 3rd show on my list. It only got 1 season. Brilliant Aaron Sorkin writing, and
Gone too soon.
you can see the progression from Newsnight to The West Wing to Studio 60, how he was developing as a writer. It was really good.
I think it just spoke too close to the studio's problems and started poking.
And you're probably
Too
right.
many
You're
holes.
probably right. It was probably too political as far as the studio was concerned.
Mm-hmm.
4th on my list is Southland.
Yes.
Which was a phenomenal cop show about L.A. Great cast and Gone Too Soon.
Kind of had that Training Day feel to it at times.
It very much had a Training Day feel to it. The lead character in Southland went on to play Jim Gordon in Gotham, which we know Brian and CJ don't like, but again, a phenomenal actor and a great cast all around. Smith, starring Ray Liotta.
I've never even heard of this.
Smith. So Smith, his character is Smith. He is it's obviously a fake name. He is a criminal mastermind with a team of people who plan these elaborate heists. It was a fantastic show that only lasted a few episodes, and I loved it. Terminator, the Sarah Connor Chronicles, is on my list. I thought that ended way too soon. I thought Lena Headey was fantastic. The Critic is
like the animated John Lovitz, The Critic.
The animated John Lovitz, The Critic. I could have taken that for another 10 years. That show was hilarious. Alphas, only got one season.
That's on my list too.
That's on my list. I could have used a lot more of Alphas. I love the cast. And then I only have two more. The Black Donnellys, which got shouted down basically by The Departed because it was a Fox show that was very much in the same vein, and then The Departed came out. And
that was like Olivia Wilde's big break. And what
it was. And what
I loved about the show is that they decided to finish it up online so you could actually watch it. But that's a great show. Go back and watch it. One season. Phenomenal show.
The last show on my list is Journeyman.
Oh, I remember that show. Basically
a modern day Quantum Leap. This guy would travel back in time, and he couldn't really control it. But every time he went back, he had to set somebody's timeline straight.
What was this called?
It was called Journeyman,
and be watching this.
It's a really good show. Couple well-known actors. I liked it a lot. It's the last one on my list.
So I you all know a couple of mine, and Josh just said a few. I'm down for Alphas. I give that. Listen, if you're a person who gets upset very easily if things don't get completed, don't watch it because you're going to get very upset. It ended on a cliffhanger. So I think that's definitely worth it. And Studio 60 is on my list too. And I've already made this opinion public, but the number one thing on my list is bring back Quantum Leap. I already told you how you would do it. I don't know why it's not produced yet.
Quantum Leap was that had a lot of seasons.
It did it, but the story I think ended kind of weirdly, and it just will be really cool to take it back even further.
Yeah, but this is like a gone too soon list.
Well, it's also just shows we would like to see come back, and I think that
is it. Okay,
yeah, I think Quantum Leap. I think sorry.
Then I have to add The Sopranos to my list.
I think a prequel to the Sopranos would be awesome.
Oh my god!
If you saw his dad's perspective growing up, and you got to know, yeah,
you god damn it!
You're welcome. You are welcome. Needs to come back, right? There you go. Just like I would love to see a modern day The Wonder Years. I think that would be so cool to reboot that and kind of take it back a little bit now.
Stop with The Wonder Years.
I know you hate that. You know what, Josh? I know
I don't hate it. I don't hate it, but it the whole purpose of it was that time.
Right. Enough time has passed that some of that stuff isn't relevant now. You could start bringing it back.
The problem is if you did a modern day Wonder Years, it would be a kid buried in his cell phone 24/7. It would
before that. Anyway, the Chicago Code.
That was a great show.
That's a fantastic show.
Not on my list, but it should be. It's a great show.
It's phenomenal. And it's
Delroy Lindo.
So good. Happy Endings from ABC.
Yes. I love that show.
So I have a love-hate relationship with the show. I don't know what happened. It seemed like items were out of order, like episodes would just air and events didn't match up, but I didn't give a shit. It was so good, and I owe it to my friend Jared, who actually introduced me to it. I think it's absolutely phenomenal.
Damon Wayans Jr. in that show is
so
freaking
funny.
Hilarious.
So funny in that movie.
It's such a shame. I mean, he's on New Girl now, and I really enjoy that show too, but I thought Happy Endings was fantastic.
Zoe Deschanel is so weird that I can't watch that show. Like, she's just so quirky that I just go, no, I can't watch you at all.
The other one I put on my list, this is kind of a weird one. I don't know if you guys remember it, Love Monkey. It had Tam Cavanaugh, Jason Presley.
Jason who?
Sorry, is it Jason Priestley? Just from not until
Priestley.
My bad. I can't say
Tom Cavanaugh. The Reverse Flash.
Never heard of it.
I'm sorry.
You mean Tom Cavanaugh from Ed?
Yeah, and from Scrubs, he was JD's brother.
And the Reverse Flash.
He left it in the Reverse Flash.
You can't say Tom Cavanaugh from Flash like that's where he gained his notoriety.
I don't care. He's the Reverse Flash.
Ed. He was in Ed.
I get it. He's Ed.
He left a very big music label to start his own indie one, and it didn't take off. And the show was really great, had heart and humor. Just
What was the show called?
Love Monkey.
I gotta check that out.
It was a really nice show. And then my last one is What About Brian, which starred the guy
What
from
About Me?
What About Brian? I thought it was a really cool thing. It was about a
Let's talk about me for the next 20 minutes and how amazing I am.
A group of guys who started an independent gaming company and were trying to get it to go off the ground. The older son from Seventh Heaven, whose name escapes me.
Yeah, that guy.
The one with the hair. You know who I'm talking about? He
Never saw Seventh Heaven. What's Seventh Heaven?
It was a show that was gigantic on ABC or CW or WB.
Nope.
Yes,
Anyway.
CW. Jessica Biel got her start there. Jessica Biel got her start there.
Yeah, that's where Jessica Biel got her start. And then we got a tweet from Alexander Crick, which is at Crick AHS109, and he said that NBC's Hannibal needs to make a return.
Oh yeah, that just got canceled. I've been hearing a
That
lot of
just
flack about
happened.
that.
But
Literally just happened.
literally just got cancelled, and he is demanding that it comes back.
How many different ways can we remake that story?
What, the Hannibal story?
Yeah.
As many as we goddamn want. And
I
then
don't
serve
think
them,
so.
serve them with a side of fava beans.
Many
With a
of
nice
them have
Chianti.
been bad.
And Jesus Christ, could you not do that? This is an audio show. No one wants to hear that. Listener, I'm so sorry for
He
what...
said the line. He said the line. I had to make the noise.
It's unnecessary.
He said the line. How can you say the line and then not go?
I don't know, Josh. What if there's a fire? What do I do?
You kick people over.
Take one child under each arm and just go.
That's what you do in a fire in America.
So, Brian, what else was on your list that you wanted to share with us?
Well, real quick, I have another Joss Whedon show on here called Dollhouse, which kind of wrapped up.
Sounds horrifying.
It was actually fantastic. It had Elijah Dushku, and the whole premise was that they would take these people and make them pretty much blank slates and then imprint different personalities and different skills onto them and then send them out to do stuff. So like some rich billionaire wants to party with a hot chick. She's going to get this personality imprinted on her. She goes out for the night, and then at the end of the night, she gets wiped. And it was really, really cool. Really,
I can kind of see why that got canceled.
No.
Right, and I think that it didn't get canceled because it's currently happening in your palatial manner. And ladies, remember, the cat to male ratio right now, little
That
high.
seems like from the moment that show got piloted, every feminist in America was trying to burn it to the
it's not
ground.
just females; it's men. It's everybody. They take
Whatever,
they take
dude.
troubled
That seems
people
like
in trouble who are like, "Hey, you can either serve a life sentence or you can work for us," and then they work for them. Listen, I'm probably not doing it justice. It's a Josh.
No, you're not.
It's the Suicide Squad of gigolos and concubines.
Deuce Bigelow male Suicide Squad.
It's a Joss Whedon show. Anybody who's a fan of Joss Whedon either already watched it and enjoyed it and is outraged that it got canceled after 2 seasons, or needs to watch it because you're not a true Joss Whedon fan.
That show made it to a second season?
Yeah, it made it to a second season. The second season is where all the shit was hitting the fan, and then they were like, "Oh no, we don't have another season," so they just wrapped it up in 3 episodes. And like the last episode was like 5 years in the future. It was crazy.
So that's not gone too soon. That is, oh shit, we didn't plan this show.
No, they planned it, but they got canceled too soon, so they just decided
okay.
to end it
I
in
thought
3
you said-
episodes.
My apologies.
Listen, CJ.
Like the end of Parks and Rec.
Right. Like the end of Parks and Rec. The reboot of V is on my list with Morena Baccarin. I thought that was so cool.
Yeah, I kept reading about that show and I've never seen it.
It was highly enjoyable. It was Battlestar Galactica.
She's the one from Homeland, right?
Who?
V. She's the one from Homeland.
Morena Baccarin? I know her from Firefly. She's in Gotham.
Wasn't she?
I don't know if she's in Homeland. I've never seen Homeland.
What?
Yeah. Here we go.
Can we not yell
Moving
at
on.
everybody every...
The Tick, the live action and the cartoon both got canceled way too soon.
I could say the cartoon, certainly not the live.
Oh, that live action with Patrick Warburton was fantastic. A lot of fun.
I don't think that word fantastic means what you think it means.
It does. It really does. No, The Tick, I remember watching this growing up. It just is funnier now that I'm an
Morena
adult.
Baccarin. She was
Are we going back to?
Homeland. Brody's wife in She's got like the most. She's got the most phenomenal neckline I've ever seen. on the screen ever. She's beautiful.
Yeah.
She was
beautiful.
She was Crazy Eyes in How I Met Your Mother,
Yes, she's Crazy Eyes.
Yes,
and How I Met
Crazy
Your Mother.
Eyes. Yes.
which, by the way, had one of those worst finales on their chart too.
Yes, it did. Another.
You guys are still no, way too critical.
We're not
That
going to.
No,
we are.
No.
That finale
was
fantastic.
awful. No, it's a slap in the face to every listener.
No,
Yes, it
no,
was.
you're no.
Yes.
So if your hope was, the big finale for Ted, it was awful. But if your hope was, if Barney was your favorite character, that finale was phenomenal.
It was a
still
great
awful.
Barney episode, which is great. The rest of the finale was crap, except for one moment, which was Barney.
One moment.
That Barney moment, I cried like
We all did. It was the
Cried and
best
cried
thing that,
and cried.
It was the thing that made it the fourth worst finale, and not the first worst finale. It was a slap in the face to everything that happened with that mother.
Critical. I think you're too
No, I'm not too
critical.
critical. That finale is terrible.
I disagree.
Well, you're allowed to be wrong.
I'm not. I'm not allowed to be wrong. I'm always right, and I'm not wrong.
This chart clearly also states that you are. I don't know.
Fuck the chart and all the viewers.
Anyway,
But not you, listener. We love you.
No, I'm talking to you.
No,
too.
don't do that. We need them.
No, no.
No, we need them. Stop.
You,
No.
I don't.
Stop pausing the podcast, person. Listen. I'm sorry. Listen, just Josh. The reviews of Josh Burns are not reflected by that kind of nerd. we don't fully endorse what he just said. We absolutely love you.
They're fully endorsed.
Stop. No, we cannot. Stop that.
Josh does not speak for all three of us.
No,
How
I
I
only
Met Your
speak
Mother
for
was
me.
awful. We care about
and
you.
the American public.
So my question, America. Yeah, the whole America. Are you welcome? Is what show do you think would make a fantastic reboot, or was gone too soon and should finish itself out? I know a lot of you are going to yell Firefly. We hear you. I agree. What else do we have?
I've never heard of this show. What is this show?
I'll lend it to you. It's a space western.
No, don't.
No,
I'm
you'll
good.
like it.
It's
No,
great.
I won't.
It's actually on Netflix.
It is.
think.
on
I've
Netflix.
already decided.
No,
I'm
and
all
Nathan
set.
Fillion.
Oh, stop.
He's awesome.
Yeah, he's awesome if you know him. He doesn't know him. That's not a good argument. Wow, you're really going to full baby mode.
I was.
Truly.
Damn it.
I've got one more on this list here. If
Please
you
do.
guys have never seen Reaper, you should watch it. It's about a 21-year-old whose parents sold his soul when he was born. The devil comes to claim him on his 21st birthday and enlists him to help him cage escaped demons on Earth. It's actually
Was his first act to kill his parents? Because that's what
That's
he should have
exactly
done.
what I would do.
it's
That's
a
how that show ends.
fantastic show.
Sold his soul when he was born?
Yeah, because the mom or the dad
What
was
kind of
deathly
assholes are his parents?
one of the parents was deathly ill, and the
So
devil
what?
came.
You die.
The
Your kid
devil came and
lives.
made a deal, and they thought they could get out of it or something before his 21st birthday. But on his 21st birthday, the devil comes and says, "Hey, you work for me now." It's a fantastic show. It's got
It doesn't sound fantastic. It sounds awful.
it's hilarious. It's got
You know what it sounds like? It sounds like Constantine needs to visit his parents.
no,
And then we'll see what happens.
it has somebody in it that you know of, and I can't. The name
Is it Keanu Reeves?
It is not Keanu Reeves. No.
Is it Patrick Swayze?
Wow. No, it's not. It's.
I was just thinking about Point Break.
For anyone, by the way, who is putting Constantine on their list, you can get a little solace because, as we said, Constantine will be
Constantine.
returning in the
Yeah,
era.
I would love to see that show. Ray Weiss plays the devil in Reaper. If you don't, you should know Ray Weiss.
Oh, should I?
Oh my god, he was in RoboCop and a bunch of other gajillion other things.
I've never seen RoboCop.
You've never seen RoboCop?
Ray Wise? Who are you talking about?
Stop. No, hold on. You've never seen RoboCop?
No, I've never seen RoboCop. Ray Wise is who you mean?
Yes.
Okay, RoboCop. How have you not seen RoboCop? We cannot go past this.
I've never. Why would I see RoboCop? It looks stupid. It is stupid. I'm not going to see it.
Hold on, wait. Do you see that in the background, Brian? Yep, it's Saddam on his wall. Go watch RoboCop.
Nah.
Oh my god.
So Ray Wise was also in
RoboCop. What you need to see.
Mad Men, a bunch of other stuff. He's like a perennial TV actor.
he's been in a bunch of stuff.
Oh, he was Robin Scherbatsky's.
He's Robin Scherbatsky's dad. Yes.
Robin Scherbatsky Sr. He was She's Junior. That's right.
Right.
I forgot about that. He's Robin Scherbatsky's father in How I Met Your Mother. Bringing me back to how the finale was not awful.
He is still
RoboCop.
Yeah, he's still paused on RoboCop.
I have to reboot in a minute, but RoboCop
does not compute. So he was the devil in Reaper.
Yes, he plays the devil in Reaper.
I see.
Oh, okay. My point is, it's very funny. He's funny in it. You should watch it. And then you will thank me and then wish that they made more seasons.
He was also in 24.
Yes, he's been in a lot of stuff.
I don't know. RoboCop looked awful. Are you talking about the 1987 RoboCop?
Yes,
or
the original
1987.
The only RoboCop you should watch.
Yeah,
the original one.
Not recommending you watch the reboot. I haven't even watched the reboot.
Please don't watch the reboot. Speaking of things that got rebooted that shouldn't, RoboCop. RoboCop was fine by itself.
RoboCop like a 49 on Rotten Tomatoes.
That's great. This is before
Rotten
Rotten Tomatoes existed. Watch RoboCop.
Never watching it.
But it gives a very accurate portrayal of what Detroit looks like right now.
Let me ask you this question. What is your view on Demolition Man?
I love Demolition Man.
It's fantastic.
In fact, the first thing I did when moving into my new apartment with my new roommate is we sat down and watched Demolition Man.
Do you like it more or less than RoboCop?
Ooh. That's a toughie. More. Yeah,
more.
Then I don't have to watch RoboCop. I'm good.
But I mean, you have to. I mean, like,
nope.
But
I'm good. Demolition Man better than RoboCop. I'm good.
But RoboCop, I mean, you have to just kind of. I mean, you kind of have to watch it. It's just like kind of a requirement.
Nope. Whose requirement?
It's in the Constitution, isn't it? Right under Rocky.
It's not in the Constitution.
It is
right
the 13th Amendment.
Yes, you're true. You're right. It's an amendment that was made.
The last time I read the Constitution, the only things that are in there are Rocky and The Price is Right.
All right, fine, RoboCop hater. If you don't like RoboCop, you've never seen RoboCop.
I didn't say I didn't like it. I just said it looks stupid, and I'm not going to watch it.
You look stupid.
I'm going to waste my time on RoboCop.
Right, he's going full baby mode again. Stop.
Sorry. Anyway, so listeners, if you have a show that you think has gone too soon or it needs to be rebooted or you just want to see more of, tweet us at That Kind of Nerd. We'll go over it next week. We'll even put it maybe online and put it on our site somewhere.
You know what show I think needs to be rebooted?
What's that?
Game of Thrones. They should go back and make it more like the fucking books.
Yes, like season 1 was. Season 1 was the book.
God damn it.
And for all of the listeners out there, yes, we're in a weird wibbly-wobbly, timey-wimey dilemma. I know that Fear of the Walking Dead just premiered. We're going to talk about it next week. And Josh is going to be grumpy. He's going to shake his head. He's going to throw things at us and swear. But we're going to talk about it for a couple of minutes, and we're going to share our impressions.
I'll be fully relaxed having had an entire week down the shore. So maybe I won't.
We'll get nice, happy Josh? Does that exist?
Fully relaxed, Josh.
Okay. All right. That's close enough. So just continue to send your shows to us, and we'll definitely make sure you do it. Check out the movie list that Brian has put up for the trailers. Let us know what movies you are excited for. Thank you so much for listening to us this week and making us your walk around the neighborhood or your drive to work.
Or run around the neighborhood. We know you exercise. It's okay.
The best way to support the podcast is to give us a rating and review on iTunes or on Stitcher. We want the feedback. We'd love to see the ratings and reviews. Get in there, click on the link, rate us, review us, give us your feedback.
And we do. We, honest to God, we read your emails, we read your tweets, we read your reviews, and if you leave a review, we will definitely read it on the show. So don't be afraid to give us your feedback.
That's good or bad feedback.
Absolutely.
So when Ellen says you guys suck, pick it up, we take that to heart. I cry for about a half hour, Ellen, and then I pick it up.
Called us out on something, and it was well deserved. All right, so thank you again for your time, guys, and you're right, Brian. And for people who are running around the neighborhood, we know you exercise. Look at you, you're looking good. Looking good listening to our show. Much appreciative. And make sure to hit up audibletrial.com/thatkindofnerd to pick up the audiobook of the week for us. Thank you again so much. Have a good day.
He said the line. How can you say the line and then not go?
Thanks there, buddy. Zoom, zoom.
That's what you do in a fire in America. Well, don't tell me that. Now you ruined it.